Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Riviere standard deck profile for post-Twinkle Melody. With the release of the latest Bermuda Triangle set, we were given more support for one of my favorite decks from the entire Bermuda Triangle clan, and that is the Riviere deck. It's a ride chain based deck in standard format, still adhering to the same playstyle that it had with the original Riviere ride chain, just a little more stronger on the restanding power for this card, in the fact that it actually restands. I believe the original Riviere didn't have any restanding power. It was just more of a power boost card. I might be wrong. It's been that long since I've seen the original Riviere, but I wanted to do an update with the deck and all the new support we received, along with the original support we had from the last Bermuda Triangle booster pack. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. Now, to start off with our grade 3 units, I'm running 4 Top Idol Riviere. The first thing to remember with Top Idol Riviere is this card did have a errata. So with its second skill, but the first one on Vanguard, when placed, you counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, and draw 2 cards. So draw power is a very big part of the Riviere deck. So being able to rely on this card for draw power alone, along with the Imaginary Gift Force marker that this card can provide, is a big plus for sure. But the second auto skill is on Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle attack, discard 2 cards from your hand, write up to 1 card with Riviere and its card name from your hand as stand, and that unit gets drive -1 until end of turn. And the errata skill with this to remember is this skill cannot be used by a card with the same name for the rest of the turn. That means so you can't basically abuse the different Rivieres in your hand by constantly riding into a different one after another one. So remember that errata with this card. I have one of the older texts for this card, but the new one stops any more than once per turn with this card's re-ride ability. But you still want to run 4 of it to have max power of this setup and your main go-to grade 3 to go into, with the backup one being 4 animated rooting Marjan from the hand. If your Vanguard is Top Idol Riviere, you can discard this card to draw a card and put a card from your drop zone into your soul. And if a card with Riviere its name was put, return that card to your hand. And this ability can be only used by a card with the same name once a turn. So this is your recycle power for getting more Rivieres. Instead of putting it back into the soul, you'll add it to your hand, which you can then use for the superior ride skill of your Riviere, because you'll quickly go through all the additional copies of the grade 3 you run in the deck. So you want that recycle power of this card to rely on. You never really want to call this card out onto the field. You want to rely on it for its sole purpose of just recycling all of your Rivieres and building up the Rivieres in the soul. And that is it for the grade 3s. We'll now move on to the grade 2s, being a ride chain like deck. We're also running 4 Super Idol Riviere. From the hand, if your Vanguard is grade 2, ride this card, draw a card, and call up the 2 Mermaid Idol Riviere from your soul to rear. So with this being our main go-to setup for our Mermaid Idol Riviere from the soul, just having this grade 1 setup in the soul that much quicker is made possible with plenty of the other backup support we're running in the deck. But also on rearguard, once per turn, when your Vanguard with Riviere and its card name is placed, you may stand this unit. So if you attack with your Rivieres first on rearguard circle and then superior ride into your new Riviere, you can restand the ones that you had set up on your rearguard as well for multiple attacks. So you might want to save your boost, or if you have the Imaginary Gift Force 1 on the field, giving them the 10,000 plus power, it just makes for more pressure altogether, having those units restand for the multiple attacks. Since Imaginary Gift Force doesn't have the additional Excel circles, you have to rely on this restand power for multiple attacks in any Force deck. And then for the new grade 2 monster, I am also running 4 Sporty Idol Innis on Vanguard or rear. When placed, counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 card with Riviere and its card name as the same grade as your Vanguard. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. So with this, it's your guarantee to go into your copy of Top Idol Riviere, so you have the superior ride guaranteed. And having this also on rearguard once per turn, Soul Blast 1 card with Riviere and its card name, and this unit gets one in one of your units with Riviere and its card name, get plus 10,000 to end of turn. So if you have a Super Idol Riviere on rearguard and you want to go with Imaginary Gift Force 2, you can at least provide Sporty Idol Innis as the plus 10,000 power to it and itself, or even with this unit giving your Vanguard the power for more pressure if you do decide to go the Imaginary Gift Force 2 route and you have the marker on your Vanguard circle. And then lastly, for the grade 2 count, I also run 3 Scramble Red Aline with this one. On rear, when your Vanguard with Riviere and its card name is placed, this unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So it's just a good rear guard to have set up for that plus power. When your Vanguard with Riviere is placed, having the additional plus 10,000 power, even if you were to place a second Riviere and then just stack more and more power with these cards, is a big plus for sure. And then just having this card saved for last as the attack to go into if you get cards like a critical trigger, giving it all the pressure, or even if your imaginary gift force 2 marker is set up on the circle that Scramble Red Island is on, so then you can go for the multiple rides and have that pressure with Riviere, but saving this on rear guard to use. And that is it for the grade 2s. So we'll now move on to the grade 1s, going right along with all of the different Rivieres you run in the deck. We're running 4 Mermaid Idol Riviere, working once again as just consistency with our grade 2, and the fact that you want to successfully ride these cards from the hand. Soul Blast 1, ride this card on a grade 1. Look at 7 cards on the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Riviere and its card name from among them, put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If Bermuda Triangle Cadet Riviere was Soul Blast for this cost, you draw a card, which is your starter you want to use in the deck. Just having that set up for this card is very important because that draw power will make up for all the cards you invest, since not only will you be riding a grade 1, but you'll also be superior riding this card off of the Soul Blast for the ride onto the grade 1 for that setup. And then also on rear guard, if this is in the back row, it gets plus 2,000 power, being a 10k booster for additional cards like Super Idol Riviere that have 10,000 power, thanks to cards like Sporty Idol Innis, can be a big plus for sure, hitting the 30k mark, making it that much more threatening and guard restrictions against your opponents. And I also run 4 of the old support car, which is Loftius Pierre Evge, or Yves, I believe is how you might have pronounced the name. On rear guard, when your Vanguard with Riviere and its card name is placed, if you have 1 or less face-up cards in your damage zone, retire this unit, draw a card, and countercharge 1. So with this, you want to save your counterblasts for a good number of other support that we are running in the deck for that setup. So being able to rely on this card and then fully go with the power support of cards like Sports Idol Innis and some of our other grade 1 lineup is a big plus for sure for that draw power and counter charge. So it's just another 4 of for sure for all of that setup in the deck. And another one of the 4 ofs are the 4 of the new Gleeful Mode Tavia. On Vanguard, when placed, if Bermuda Triangle Cadet Riviere is in your soul, look at 5 cards on the top of your deck, put up to 1 card from among them on the top of your deck, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is setup, once again, being the preferred grade 1 ride target to go into having a Vanguard skill. But on rear guard, when your Vanguard with Riviere and its card name is placed during the battle phase, use Soul Blast 1 and counter charge 1 for more and more setup. Once again, the counter charging definitely coming in handy, working with both of the different grade 1 powers we have. This one just being more of a setup, and this one being along with the draw power we have with that card. And then the last ofs for the grade 1s, I run 2 Mermaid Idol setup, more grade 3 support. I just want more and more options to search into my main go-to grade 3 top Idol Riviere. So running 2 of this in the deck is a big help for that for sure. And then having the additional plus 5,000 power, if you have another unit in the same column as this, very easy to meet those, setup with all the other additional grade 2 support we're running in the deck. And that is it for the grade 1s. We'll now move on to the grade 0s. Our go-to starter is the starter you have to run this deck just to have consistency, and that is Bermuda Triangle Cadet Riviere. When wrote upon, draw a card, and then with the new errata text, if you're grade 1 or greater for your opponent, you put a quick shield ticket into your hand for additional guard power or just cost if you need it for other plays in the deck. And then for the trigger lineup, I'm still a big fan of the 12 critical for these high-pressure Bermuda Triangle decks. So I'm running 4 Cherished Phrase Reina for the Sentinel spot, being the 30,000 K shield for the deck, and then just having the restand power with Riviere makes it all the more pressure with this card, being able to get more and more critical triggers for those multiple attacks. And if your opponent Sentinels the main go-to attack with your Vanguard, you have all the additional rear guard power that I spoke of before to build off of. With the rest of the trigger lineup, I'm also running 4 Lover Hope Rena and 4 Docking Shooter Pelia, just as the easiest triggers to get from the newest set. And the preferred heal for the deck, just think matching the theme, is the Agitato Cheer Pippi Laya, I believe is how you pronounce the name. Very interesting name at that, but adorable art for sure. And then just the generic heal as the newest one with easiest access in the newest set. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoy the video. There's still plenty of Bermuda Triangle decks to do profiles on from the newest set, Twinkle Melody. If you all still want to see updates for a bunch of these different support, just comment down below which ones you want to see. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Qualia out.